Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, the Hard Coder. So in this video, we're gonna learn about some interesting technology called NestJS, React, and GraphQL. So we have built like lots of application, lots of MERN project with help of like React. And last time I gave like Nest video that is built on microservice architecture. You guys, if you can't if you not visit yet, just go and check it out. And obviously I can make sure I can give the assurance like you will obviously learn a new things from that video. So in this video also, from this video also, you will gonna learn a new things. So here we are gonna build a 2D application, but not this is a simple 2D application. This is a real-time 2D application. Okay, so here we can learn how we can communicate with real time, like communicate in real time from one browser, means from one client to another client. Okay, and everything we are gonna do with the GraphQL, because GraphQL has all the features like subscription, mutation, query, all those things we're gonna learn today. Okay, so let's start. So this is a blank folder I have created, and that folder name is called as real-time to-do app. So in this folder, first we have to make two folder. First folder is for backend and another folder is for frontend. Backend will be built by NestJS. Okay, and in that NestJS we're gonna implement GraphQL. Okay, and another on the client side we're gonna use ReactJS and GraphQL. Okay, to communicate with backend. Here we are not gonna use means database or something. This is the like, if you want, you guys can use the database like MongoDB or MySQL, but here that in this video I'm just give you the idea, not idea, actually the technology about GraphQL and NestJS and ReactJS. And apart from that, if you wanna store, you can store the data into the DB and get the data. So everything we are gonna do, but we are not gonna communicate with the database. We are gonna store the data, we are gonna get the data. We can complete the like to do task. Okay, and that everything, like when someone is try to create, like client is create one new to do data or to do title, on that time it will reflect to another browser or something, because this is real time. And I think when some like complete is happen in that browser, another browser, it will obviously it will be shown over there also, because this is a real time. So this real time we're gonna whole thing we're gonna build with GraphQL, because maybe you know, or you, if you don't know about that, like Facebook is like that GraphQL actually developed by Facebook, and that Facebook also using the GraphQL technology, and the GitHub also. Those are most popular platform. So let's start. So first make two folder. First one is backend, another is for frontend. Okay, now go to the go inside to the backend folder. First make the API, make all the APIs. Okay, so for that we have to create nest new and dot slash. That means we're gonna create a new nest project on this folder, on this backend folder only. So that's why I gave this path. This is the path. Now hit enter. So what package manager I want to use? npm yarn pnpm. So I'm using okay, npm I'm using, because this is the like very popular. You guys also know about that. So it will take some time. So it's installed. Okay, now we have to create nest. First we have to not resolver, first we need generate resource. So generate so first we have to install like nest generate module, and that module name is todos. Oh, not here, yeah, obviously there. So first create. Okay, so this is already created. So this is the todos folder. Something mismatch happened. Okay, rm minus rf ports todos. Again, I'm gonna create new one. So you guys can see this is the like, okay, I'm just okay, now you guys can see this is a todos folder and one module it has created over there. Okay, now we have to create the resolver. So nest generate resolver and then todos. So it will be create one resolver file for you. So we need one resolver and we need one module. Okay, now what do we need for resolver? This is resolver for GraphQL. So we have to install some packages to use the GraphQL feature. So for that we need to install GraphQL. So npm I GraphQL. We need to install class validator for validate the input or those things. We need GraphQL subscriptions to handle the event, subscription event. Then we need NestJS platform WS for implement the WebSocket over there. Then NestJS GraphQL. Then we need for NestJS Apollo. Need Apollo server also we need. So these packages actually we need. So GraphQL class validator, GraphQL subscriptions, NestJS platform WS, that means WebSocket, platform WebSocket, and this next NestJS GraphQL. Okay, so spelling mistake is there. So GraphQL, then NestJS Apollo and Apollo server. Now hit enter. So it's installed. Now go to the app module. So go to the app module and here we have to configure the things here. How we can configure? First we have to import graph module here. So we need graph module dot for root, and this for root actually we have to give the type also, that is Apollo driver config. We are going to use Apollo driver over there. Apollo driver is the kind of what I can say, like this is a server or this is a technology which can provide the GraphQL technology, you can say. Okay, so this is a driver and here we have to pass which driver we're going to use. We're going to use Apollo driver. So Apollo sorry, Apollo driver. Okay, we have to import this also. Next, that schema file we are going to use nest entity or nest DTO, which help. So we are not gonna create any schema, so that's why GraphQL schema. So that's why we're gonna create auto schema file true. That means what, like is automatically create the schema internally. Okay, next is context. So context, what will be there in the context? For it will, in this parameter it will be request and res. Okay, so request and res, and then it will be written request res and publishers. Okay, so publishers, for publishers we have to create the instance for publishers. So const variable name is pubsub, that is publishers. So new pubsub. So we have to import this publishers from GraphQL subscription. Okay, and this also return publishers. Okay, then we have to define subscriptions. So subscriptions, which kind of method we're going to use? We're going to use subscription transport WebSocket. So subscription transport WebSocket, and then this path will be default path we're going to use, that is GraphQL. If you, so this is the default path, GraphQL. Done. So this kind of configuration we have to do to implement the GraphQL with NestJS. Now go to the to-do module. So in this to-do module nothing is there because we already have written in this app module, means the whole application is now like configured with GraphQL. Now go to the to-do resolver. So in this to-do resolver, what is required? So before the to-do resolver, we have to create that DTO and entity. The DTO means what kind of input we are going to expect from for the all the APIs, and what kind of response or entity we are going to send. So for that, first create one file, name is to-do, name called todo.dto.ts. So by default, so okay, so export plus create to-do input. So this is for create a new task API. Okay, so this is a field. Okay, this field is for called this is for imported from, you guys can see, for NestJS GraphQL. So this field means input actually, and then we're gonna give the validation like is not empty kind of. Okay, and then obviously is will be like input will be string, so is string, then the value is title, that will be string. Done. Now come to the another one, that is for to-do dot entity.ts. So to-do dot entity.ts. So in this to-do dot entity.ts, what kind of what will be the return? So this obviously this will return a object. So that's why we have to define like this is the object type. Okay, we have defined this is object type. Then we are gonna say export class to-do. This is the object will return. What will be the key and value in that object? So first will be the ID, and that will be string. So this is the field. So this is the field. So like ID, then will be the title, and another flag will gonna return for completed or not. By default it will be false. So this will be boolean. Done. Now come to the resolver. So for that, for publishers, so const, we have to define the instant pubsub equal to new pubsub. So we have to import this one also. Next, the resolver, to do resolver. First, it by default we are gonna say okay, to do is equal to blank array. So we are gonna use the memory storage over there. Okay, so inside that application we're gonna store the data. So when that application got crashed or stopped or killed the port, on that time the data will be cleared, and when you will just restart that, then data again you can like store in a new data, because we are not gonna use the MongoDB or any kind of database, because this is the like I'm just try to give you the concept and the technology, how you gonna use, how gonna code all those things. Because if you know already, you guys know maybe, because in the last video I already implement lots of like application. In that application I have already used the MongoDB over there for store the data and get the data and means communicate the data. So for that here I'm just using memory storage. First, as simple as that. Now okay, first API will be get the data, right? Get the data. So first API is the get the data. So Get, that means when you guys are trying to get the data, that means you are trying to query the data. So that's why we are gonna use query. Okay, so query is for from GraphQL. So we are trying to query. So this is a get, so there will be no ID, all those times. We are try to get all the to do list, and it will return to do. Means to do means this entity, this kind of structure will return, but this will be written in an as array. So that's why it will be in array. Okay, this is the first to do. The function name is get to do's. Okay, and then we are just return this dot to do's. So we are return this variable value. At the initial time it's blank array. Okay, next one is to create a new record. So for when we are trying to create, or we are like update the data or something, for those API we are going to use mutation. So for get the data or fetch the data, we are going to use query for GraphQL, and for to create, update or delete the data, we are going, for those API we are going to use mutation. So mutation. So for mutation also we are going to return to do, means what kind of data we are going to create, so that data will be returned, or update for that purpose. So this is the function name, will be the create to do. Next, in this parameter, what is the argument? Argument will be the input, right? So argument will be the input. So I am specifying this is the input. Sorry. And this input, I'm saying this variable name is input. Okay, sorry, it will be outside that input, and this DTO will be the create to do input, this one. Done. Now inside this const to do equal to id will be date.now. We can use the timestamp for id purpose. Title will be the input.title, right? And by default completed will be false. So completed will be false. So this is the new to do payload, and then we just push the data. For storing we are push the data. So this dot to do's dot push. Done. And return the to do. Okay, this publisher we gonna check later. Okay, now let's start the function, start the server. So for we have to run this command npm run start :dev. Some error came. Let's see what kind of error came. Okay, create to do input. It is showing appropriate decorator. Okay, sorry. So it will be input type, right? So we have to use input type from the Nest. Okay, now you guys can see like Nest application successfully started. So for that, we can check those APIs. How we gonna check? So for check those API, we can use Postman. So click on this new button, then you will get this kind of pop-up, and click on here WebSocket request, and in this WebSocket request just paste the URL like that http.localhost.3000. This is the like on that port only NestJS application is running, so that port number, then slash GraphQL, that is the default one. So when you post, okay, sorry, input will be GraphQL request, not this one. When you will post, it will automatically take all the query what you have set it up. So I have already one function get to do's, another. So if you select this one, so this is the query, automatically it's generated, and click on the query button, you will get to do's, it will be the blank one. Okay, and now come to the create to do. So if you create to do, then this first is the input title, and you have to give the title complete the breakfast. So this is one like what I can say, this is the one kind of my task. Okay, so here this is the mutation structure, like it's a mutation. Create to do is the method name, and input we are going, this is the input variable, and this is the output structure. So if you try to query, you guys can see this is the, we have created the new task. Now if you unselect this, if you select this one, try to query, you can see now in this get to do's one data is there. So our API is running perfectly fine. Now come to the next one. Next one is what? For complete the data. So for complete the data, we have to create another mutation. So this also return, to do, and we can say this is the toggle to do completed. Okay, and obviously this is the argument, and now these arguments, okay, these arguments accept ID, and this ID will be the string. Okay, I can give like date to string here, so ID will be the string. Now inside this, first const equal to do, sorry, updated to do. So okay, give the to do equal to this dot to do's dot find, this dot to do's dot find. First we have to find the data like that. Okay, so we have to find the to do with this ID, and then we have to make to do dot completed equal to true. Not true, it's like toggle, this is the toggle, so that's why to do dot completed equal to not to do. Like if this is previously it is true, then it will be false. If previously it was false, then it will be true. So vice versa, and then you have to return the true. Done. So up to this our API has done. I just close and restart the application again. Now we can, if we will try to query, we will get the blank one. So let's start from the scratch. So create like breakfast and then query. Okay, you guys can see this is a string. Now okay, so now reload. Now come to down, you can see another API is there, to do toggle to do complete. Now here we have to pass this one, and now query, you can see this is a true, or if you wanna get the data, now it's coming true. So our backend is done, but there we haven't used the publisher.js, so that we want to use later. Now come to the, so this is the simple to do application with NestJS till now. Now this is the backend. Now come to the front end. So I just stop the server. Okay, not required. I have created another one. So cd front end. Now here we need to create another React app. So for that we have to create another command. We have to run another command, that is npx create react app then dot slash, means on that destination only it will create a react app. So now hit enter and it will take some time. So our ReactJS application is installed. Now close all the things. Now come to the React part. So inside the React, I have already provided the GitHub link in the below in the description. So go to the description, and from there you can get the index.css file from this frontend folder. Go to this one, index.css. Delete this one and copy from there, like copy from the GitHub and paste it here like this, because we are not gonna waste the time on onto the building the CSR, like build the design and UI, all the stuffs. Okay, so we are only focused on the technology things. Now go to the index.js. Now go to the index.js. Here we are gonna set up the GraphQL things. So for GraphQL we are gonna, like backend, we are gonna use Apollo server, which provides the GraphQL things, and for here also, like for frontend also, we're gonna use Apollo client, okay, to communicate with the things. So where we have to install Apollo client. So npm I Apollo client. We have to install GraphQL. Then yeah, and we have to install subscription transport WebSocket. Only this thing will work. Yeah, fine. Now hit enter. So all the packages has installed. Now come to this part. So go to the index.js file. First we have to create the HTTP link, means which link we are gonna use to communicate. Like that default link is that localhost 3000 slash GraphQL. So that is the HTTP link. So const HTTP link will be new HTTP link. Okay, and then we are gonna pass URI. URI will be the HTTP localhost 3000 then slash GraphQL. So this GraphQL, okay, so import HTTP link from Apollo client. Okay, next, so another thing we are gonna use WebSocket to communicate the real-time data. So for that we are gonna use WebSocket. Already we have configured the app module, if you remember, on the backend side. So already WebSocket already has done over there, because internally Apollo server is running the WebSocket over there. So for that, here we have to create another link, that is WebSocket link. So const ws link. Till now we haven't implement, but configuration has done from the backend, and in the front end also we are doing this. So new WebSocket link. So WebSocket link. So this also is imported from here, WebSocket link. Then here we have to maintain URI. URI will be the same one, but this will be WebSocket link, so that's why not HTTP, this is WS. And another thing, we have to pass the options. So options reconnect true. Okay, now we have to define we have to merge these two links, HTTP link and WS link, with help of split. That split also is provided by Apollo client. So const split link equal to split. So this split also imported from Apollo client. So comma split. So it will be it will take the param, like this is a function, it will return a function. So this is the query. Okay, and inside this query, this looks like this one. So this query, this is the first we have to, this is the definition equal to, first we have to create the definition. Definition means already we have created like this one, so we have to create the definition. So this is the definition. So for the definition we have to call the get main definition, and this is the query. Now come to the point. Now we have to say, means we have to fetch the query definition, like we have to, like the what I can say, like that get this get main definition function is called with a query. This is argument which represent like a GraphQL operation, like as such as query, mutation or subscription. Okay, so this returns an object that represent the main definition of this operation in this GraphQL. Can have multiple definition, like it can be like query, or it can be multiple queries or single operation. Multiple queries it can be in this in a single operation. So basically it check whether the kind property of definition object is operation, like operation definition, that means like query, mutation, all those things, or subscription. Okay, if both condition is true, means this is a subscription, this is also query, mutation or something, then it is returned true, indicates the operation is a subscription, otherwise it returns a false. That means like it actually check, it will actually needed for what I can say, it actually needed for subscription actually. Okay, so it's actually return, it's return this call, means which call x came, this call is for subscription also, means this is the operation definition and subscription both. If both, then it returns true. Okay, so this definition dot kind equal to this is the operation definition. So operation, sorry, O is capital, O, operation definition. Okay, so this is the operation definition, and definition dot operation. So this is the kind, and also this operation equal to is subscription. So subscription, if yes, then it will return true. Okay, now next one, next we have to pass these two link. First is HTTP link and another is WS link. So WS link and then HTTP. Now with this split link, with help of this split link, we are gonna create the actually Apollo client. So const client equal to new Apollo client, Apollo client, return link will be the split link, and then cache, we're going to use the cache. For in memory cache we're going to use, so new in memory cache. Done. And here we're going to use Apollo provider. So Apollo provider, and this app will be called inside this, and in this Apollo provider we're going to pass the client. So client will be client. Done. So this is the configuration for GraphQL. Now go to the app.js, delete all the things from there. First we have to create all the GraphQL like query. GraphQL query means this one, we have to create first this one. Like for query we have to create this, for mutation we have to create this, so like that. So first const, we have to create some variable. So constant variable. So get todos equal to GraphQL GQL. Okay, and then it will be the query get todos, and then inside this, like this one, like if you select this one, same. So copy this, paste it here, done. So for create to do, so const create to do's. Okay, so mutation. So if you go to the here, sorry, click here, this one, where is that, this one. So mutation create to do input will be null, like that. So what I can say, okay, so mutation, this will be the same. So copy this one, not fully same actually, because we have to pass the variable here. So then create to do, okay, mutation create to do, it will pass the variable, that will be the title, that is the string, and obviously it's required value, so that's why we are going to use this operator. And then create to do, and this is the input, will be the input, like this one we can copy. So copy this one, okay, and input will be the title, this title. So input will be the title equal to this one. Okay, so this is the thing. Now come to the complete, for toggle to do complete. So const toggle to do completed equal to same GQL GraphQL, and here same thing. So mutation, if you're gonna go there, not this one, so this one, if you're gonna see, delete this one, select this one, like this. So paste it, and obviously like this also, it will also expect one input, so that will be the ID. This is also a string, and the toggle ID will be the $ID. Done. Now come to the function. So function app, okay, and at the end export default app. Now inside this app, first will be the first make the HTML things. So return, so we need one fragment operator. Inside this fragment operator, first will be the div class name will be the to do form. Inside the div, one input will be there, input type will be the text, class name is not required. Then placeholder will be the enter task title, okay, that's done. Now one button will be there, so button, then button text will be add, create another div, So div, inside the div, this class name will be the to do list, class name will be the to do hyphen list, and inside the div heading h2, that will say to do. Okay, or we can say to do's. Then ul, inside that ul li is there, and inside that li class name will be the to do, not class name will be the completed, that is not required. By default it is a blank one. Inside that li, first will be the input, type will be checkbox, checked will be the value, so by default it's true. Okay, by default it's true, and done. And then span, inside this span one thing is there, like breakfast. Now run npm start. Okay, yes. So this is running on port number 3003. WebSocket link is not found, it's showing. Oh, sorry, WebSocket link is not from there, it's actually coming from link, client link WebSocket. Okay, so and go to the index.css. Where I put, sorry, I have to put, so go to the index.css, delete everything, paste it. Now it looks like this. Okay, here we're gonna give the value, click on the add button, it will add it here. So let's start, let's make it functional. So for make it functional, what we can do, first make it for get the data. So okay, let's start the query. So for query, first we have to create one state. So to do's equal to set to do's equal to use state. Use state by default it is blank array. Okay, const, another one for const task, or we can say title or set title. For input I'm talking about title equal to again use state, by default blank string. First let's get the query. So for that const we are getting the data, we are getting the loading, and we are getting the error. From where? From use query hook. So that use query hook is actually this hook provided by Apollo client. Now we have to pass the query, get to this query. Now inside the use effect, so create one use effect, we're gonna check if the data is there, that means set to do is equal to data dot get to do's, because we already see on that on here, like if we will click it here, so it's coming on this variable get to, so data dot get to do's. So data dot get to do's, and that data will be the dependency value. Done. Another thing, if like we can handle this one also, like if for now if loading, then we are return p loading dot 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 something, and again if error, any kind of error is coming, then return p error, kind of this. Okay, now coming to the to dos. So this to dos we're gonna make it here. So to dos dot map to do, this is the list, it will be go there. So to do, this is the key to do dot id, and here to do dot title. Okay, like this. Now if you go there, so it's showing it's coming error. Why it's coming error? Okay, is giving the course issue. So let's check why it's giving the course issue. Go to the backend folder, and inside the source go to the main.ts. Here we have to give the course permission. So go to the main.ts, and here we have to give app.enable course. Okay, and we have to say origin will be the http localhost 3001. Okay, and credentials too. Done. Now it's coming fine. So by default it's not blank, so that's why it's not showing. So if it is blank, then we can see to dos dot length is greater than 0, then only it's showing, else we can show in h4 please create a new task for you. So please create a new task for you. Done. So that's why there are no data. Now coming to create. So if I'm coming to create, so go to the input here. So there are no class name. Okay. Now coming to value will be the title. Okay, and on change, so it will be event. So set title, this one. Now on the on click button, so on click it will be add new to do, new task. One method is there, we have to create this method. So const this method. Okay, so inside this method, or we can say handle. Okay, handle create to do. This name is kind of similar with this. So create to do. Inside this method we have to check if title is there. Okay, then what we can do, we have to create the to do. So I have to create another mutation over there. So const in this array, this main mutation name is create to do equal to use mutation hook, use mutation, and have to pass the create to do. Same const toggle to do completed equal to use mutation, this one. So create to do. So call this create to do method, and we have to pass all the things. First we have to pass the variables. So that variables is obviously title. Okay, next we have to pass. So when we just create a new one, that time we have to update the cache also, because we are using in memory cache in this React, right? So we have to update the value, means we have to, like, maybe previously there are 3 tasks, now we have added another one, so now it became 4, so we have to update the cache. So for that we have to create another method, that is update. First it will be cache, comma, then first data colon create to do, whose data is created, so this is name is to do, because when we have created, that time we are getting the data dot create to do. So data, then create to do, and we are naming it as to do. Invalid parameters. Okay, so cache, then data, like this. Now inside this here we have to modify the cache. So cache dot modify. What we are going to modify? We are going to modify the fields. So fields will be the get to dos. So what is the get to dos? We are getting the get to dos, means when we are query the data, that this is the get to dos. So get to dos, and this get to dos already has the existing to dos. So by default this is like we are making the variable name existing. By default this value is blank. Okay, and here const new to do. So this is a new to do. New to do reference equal to cache dot write fragment. We are writing the new fragment over there, and that is the data will be the new to do what is there, right? So data equal to do, and now we have to pass the fragment. So fragment will be the some GQL, GraphQL, and inside that fragment new to do. We can give the new is capital, new to do, on to do. Okay, on to do, that ID, title, and is completed. Done. So this is a new to do reference. So this is the updated new to do. Now we have to return this one, return dot existing to do's what is there, and then that new to do reference we has push the value. Oh sorry, this is the equal to by default. Done. Again I'm saying, so this is a create to do query or mutation. After that we are passing the variable. When we are get the response, then we are update the data. So we are getting the response in this format. We are getting the data in this cache. We are gonna modify the fields. This is the get to do the previous response. This is the existing to do the data. Okay, so we are calling the previous response. In this previous response, from this cache, this is the cache. So from this cache we are calling the previous response, and this is existing to do. This is actually the previous data, and we are creating the new to do reference as same GraphQL fragment. So this is the new to do from the to do format. This is ID title completed, and then we are returning, means we are pushing the new to do from the inside to that existing to dos. So done. Now let's see, reload this. We can write breakfast. Let's see it will work or not. Yeah, it will work. You can see breakfast added. Now we can see say lunch added. Now we can see tiffin added, dinner added. We can do another thing. When it is getting added, after that we can say set title will be the blank again. Okay, then we can say sleep added clear, like this. So by default is true. Now coming to the this check and uncheck. So here, if we are gonna this class name, if this class name is completed, okay, then it will be the like one strike through will be there. So for that we're gonna handle this one. So copy this one on cart. So sorry, to do dot completed equal to this one else blank, like this. Okay, so nothing cut is there, so same thing is to do dot complicate, we can pass it here also. So by default is 1. Now if we click on this, so we can't click. Now go to the on change event. So on this on change, so on change, it will call another function handle to do completed. It will pass to do dot id and to do dot title. You have to make this function. So here we can make const this one. So this is the id and title. Now here, so you have to call this to do this one, this mutation to do toggle to do completed. So call this one, and first we have to pass the variables. So that is the id. So we are passing the id. Then the new things is like we can introduce optimistic response. Okay, so what is optimistic response? Optimistic response, like this is object we can pass in that function. This is optional parameter that allows you to provide a response object that the client will immediately use to update the UI things before waiting the actual response from the server. Okay, so we are going to use optimistic. So optimistic response, so it will not wait for the server response, it's automatic, it's quickly update the UI for better, like better smoothing or something. Okay, so first we have to pass the type name. So type name basically is a mutation, so we have to give the mutation. Then the data will be the toggle to do completed. This is the data. This in this format we are getting the data. So this type name obviously this is a to do type. Okay, then we have to pass the title and this completed, and the completed will be the not to do, means the what operation is what operation is happening in the backend. We are gonna same operation we are gonna do then front end for quick response. So to do dot find, so to do dot find. Okay, so like this one dot completed, sorry, done. Now go here like this. So it is working like this way. So now it's done. Now coming to the real time update, means we are gonna play with the subscription. Now for the subscription, for the subscription, we're gonna use subscription hook, because we have already implemented that subscription in this index.js, means already configured, right? Now we're gonna use the use subscription hook. So go here. So const, it obviously it will also return a data. We can, so data is already there, so we can't use same variable, so we just rename the variable like to do created something, to do created equal to, we're going to use subscription. Okay, so in this use subscription, we have to pass the subscription GraphQL schema like this. So here const to do created, to do created GQL GraphQL, so subscription, then to do created, so T is the capital, to do created, and the same format what is there in this to do created. So to do created, then ID, title, completed. Okay, another is for same thing is for to do completed. So copy this, paste it. So this is to do completed, to do completed. Here also to do completed. So we have to pass this to do created is here, we have to pass this GQL here. Same thing is to do completed. We have to pass this completed here. Okay, now we have to play with the use effect. Like in this use effect, if to do created data is coming, then we have to update this state. So is coming, and if the data is there, then new const new to do equal to do created dot to do created. So in this format, you guys are getting the data. If you log this to do created, then you can see the data inside this one. Okay, and then set to do's will be the, like, first what is there in the pref. So pref to do's, and then dot 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 pref to do's, then new to do, and this to do created will be the dependency variable. Done. And this complicated, so complicated, but now it's come, now we have to update, we have to implement this subscription also in the backend also. So go to the to do's folder in this backend, and in the resolver we have to create the subscription here. So const subscription. Okay, so it actually return same to do, and we are calling the function name is to do created. That's why we give this format in the front end, like to do this one, to do created, this one. So function name is the to do created, and here we have to return, we have to enable this one and this one also. We have to publish this event. So we have to publish pub/save dot async iterator. So it's iterate the event, and the name is to do created. That's why we are using to do created dot to do created. So same thing is for completed. So this is a to do completed. So to do completed, here you have to give the to do completed, to do completed. Done. Now copy this one, create the incognito one. Now this one. Okay, let's see. So this is the task 1, add. Okay, so it's not showing here. If I reload this, I can see, check. Okay, it's not working actually. So why it is not working? Okay, we just try to restart the server and let's check. No, it's not working actually. Let's see why it is not working. Sorry, I just forgot to do another thing. That is, we have to call this we have to subscribe this event, right? To do created and to do completed. So go to the to do resolver here. So we have to publish those events. So when this got happened, after that we have to pub sub dot publish to do created. This is a to do created event. So publish this to do created, and then we have to pass the data to do created dot to do. That's why data is, that's why I gave the data. You can see I access the data to do created dot to do created, because the to do created is the event name and then dot this one. So this dot this, then you will get the to do. So same thing, you have to pass. This is for this one also. Okay, but the name is to do completed, to do completed. Okay, now let's see it will work or not. Restart task A. Okay, we can see the data is coming here, but it's not updated. Okay, task A completed. You can see real time is happening now. Okay, so if we will close this one. Now if I here, so I unchecked here and I checked there. Okay, so both are working fine now, but this one is not working, so I have to check why this is not working. So log, you have to log the data. Task B, add to do created. Okay, so this use effect is not working actually somehow. Why this is not working, we have to check. Task C, yeah, now it's working. Okay, so you guys can see this is the real time update is happening. So this one, reload this one, okay, so real time is happening in this two different browser. So this is the task D. Yeah, it's also added here also. So this is working perfectly fine. Thank you so much. Let's see on the next video.